Welcome to Crew W Racing. Today we're going to go to my Honda motor and my Hornet that I blew up. I mean, I got like 8 laps out of it at the new track I went to. It's my fault I blew it up. We go through it, we find out what I did, what the reasons why it blew, and gave me some lessons of what to do, how to fix it, how to know not to do it again. Definitely a lot of good information there for myself. So I appreciate you guys watching the videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And also check out my brother's channel at f22a Racing. I'm the circle track guy. He's the drag racing guy. But we also both get into vehicle projects. I haven't really started that yet. I mean, trust me, there's a backlog of stuff. I wrote everything down on a notebook today that on my truck I need to do, my trailer I need to do, my race car I need to do once I get it back from the fab shop. I took it out to Hazley Fabrication. So he does amazing work. He's got my car straightened out already from the pictures I've seen. And that don't even do it justice. My car was bent. It was more twisted than a twisted T. I'll put it that way. So he's straightening it out. It's going to be a totally different car than I ever even thought about knowing. And I drove the car for a half a year, 2 years ago, one race last year. So I don't even know what to expect once I get it, once I get the car done and get in it. Because it's going to be one of those good deals where the car is going to do what I ask it to do and tell it to do. It's going to be a totally different car. So, I mean, I got race season prep coming up, so that's a big thing. We got a lot of stuff to do for race season prep. I got to have the truck ready to go. I got to have the trailer ready to go. And then, obviously, the race car's got to get ready to go. And then there's more content from there. I got a second car sitting in the wings. And I'll explain it as we're going along. So, definitely there's going to be some content. And I'm going to get into this information a little bit more down the line. This video, yes, I did post up a video about basically the first part of this somewhat about a week ago, or less than a week ago. And I took it down because it was rushed. I put myself in some pressure of deadlines and stuff like that to try to get videos out. I'm not going to do that until I get more content and make sure I have videos backed up, ready to go. So we're going to just release what I can. I got to wait for this weather to break on some of this stuff, but definitely content coming. So just follow me along on the journey, and we're going to get into this video, and I hope you guys like it. Welcome back to Crew W Racing. I'm at the car club today. Today we're going to take this Road Warrior Hornet motor that I blew up in the clip before apart, get it ready to scrap, and let's get in it. We'll see what we find. I know there's a hole in the block, but I kicked the rod and that's life. So we're going to get in it. I'm pretty sure what happened is I overturned it, starved it on oil on top of it. Then I added the extra quart because the track's banked. And also just didn't have a baffled oil pan. And just didn't even run 1540 in it like I was told to do. After I blew it up, I talked to some people, figured out what happened. These motors like to valve float around 6,500 RPM. You don't want to turn them any more than that. And I don't know where I turned it. I had no tack in the car, and so I really don't know. I didn't even have gauges in the car, so it's on me that why I blew it up. But we'll get into it. We'll find out what happened and go from there. All right, so let's start getting this thing apart and see what we find. Yes, I use chrome sockets on my impact. I like to live dangerously. Yeah, we broke the rod. That's for dang sure. I'm not sure if it was rod bolt failure or just the rod just wasn't happy and just decided to break itself in half. So I'm going to dig into this a little bit deeper and see what else I find. All right. And the balance shaft came out with the one side. Deal with that later. Second balance shaft. All this rear cover does is hold the rear main seal. This is definitely an interesting structure that supports your, basically like a stud girdle. For as much as this motor has been abused, let me go grab a rag. I don't know how, but the bearings look perfect. Well, look in decent condition. They don't look perfect, but let's just give her a tap in, tap out. Ooh, there's the bearing. This was the next one to go. Yeah, she was done. Well, these are good. I'm just going to try to get this crank out of here. Mains look good, but at least number 1 rod didn't look too good. We're about to find out about number 4. Number 4 don't look too bad neither. Okay, that's an interesting way to do a thrust washer, but okay. Good on you, Honda. All right, well, I just got to pull the coolant tube off and she's ready to scrap. Of course, what would a project be without cutting yourself? But yeah, she's apart now. So, we'll go from there. Okay, so we got it apart. We figured out what was going on. Or at least I have a theory of what happened. I'm going to flip you around, show you the rods, take you over, show you the crank and the block and all that, and we'll go from there. I'll explain what happened. All right, so there's rod number 1. You can see it's hot. We also seen that the bearing was spun. This one was number 2, the one that broke, and yeah, more than likely spun a rod and then broke. But if you look at the nuts, that one's in like that. That one's out. So that nut could have backed off and created all sorts of havoc. I don't know. And then here's number 3. No heat. Bearing looks perfect. Or as good runnable bearing. It's not hurt, is what I'm going to say. So I'm going to walk over and we'll look at the crank and figure out what's going on with the crank. Okay, so there's a hole in the block where the rod came out. Well, it didn't come out, it stayed in the block. But where it hit the block. Then, hold on one second, I'm going to lift this crank up. Okay, you can see number 1, it definitely started wiping itself out. Number 2, it's done. Number 3 is pretty good. Number 4 is pretty good. And all the mains are good. So what happened is I'm pretty sure it just started for oil on those front 2 cylinders. And yeah, just created all sorts of havoc from there. And nothing you could do about it at that point. She went, you see it in a clip, I got 8 laps. Well, you didn't see all 8 laps, I edited it down. But I got 8 laps out of it. So, definitely had something happen. And, yeah, she went boom.